triple-A home run in the 5th inning. Right on left to pitch. PCA drills it. Deep left center.
You got Wayne Saunders. He's our first guest. You got his number. We're on Facebook Live right now.
Welcome to triple-A PCA. First Iowa Cubs hit is his first Iowa Cubs homer. What a moment for the top prospect of the Cubs system. It is 3-1 Iowa. I can try to continue the win ways on
Who
Saturday.
again?
Game 5 of the
Lieutenant Wayne Saunders.
Starting at 6:08 p.m. See you on Saturday. Go Cubs.
No, I don't.
Did you miss Canty and Carlin? Previous year, 26 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. We had a good season. Ayahuasca, 48 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. MVP.
You're out of your mind if you think that's the reason. The idea of 48 touchdowns and an MVP, thank you, Ayahuasca, for getting it done. If that was the case, every guy in the league would be doing Ayahuasca right now.
Weekdays 2 to 6 on 102.1 FM and 1350 ESPN Des Moines Radio. The Baseball Tonight Podcast.
If they don't re-sign Ohtani, secondarily, if they don't make the playoffs, this is going to be one of the most criticized decisions that we've seen in baseball in recent years. But on the other hand, I got to say, in an era in which we talk
Morning,
about
everybody.
and teams not trying, I love the fact that Artie Moreno, the Angels owner, is like, no, we're going to try to win.
The Baseball Tonight Podcast is on the ESPN app or wherever you listen to podcasts.
The Dodgers-Padres rivalry is one of the hottest in Major League Baseball. It's star-powered and it's intense. This place is going to get really loud.
Wayne Saunders. I just gave you his number. Yeah. And then the second in the name.
The postseason continues on Sunday Night Baseball. Dodgers, Padres, Sunday at 7 Eastern on ESPN. Presented by Casamigos Tequila.
Morning, Richard.
Wake up and get up with ESPN Radio.
Well, I never thought I would say this, and I would follow my old colleague. But the first 4 games of the season, I mean, pretty much I think Bill Belichick's going to fall off a cliff. Like, I do. I mean, listen, Amber, Eagles at home, Dolphins at home, at Jets, at Cowboys. They're going to find themselves 0-4. I believe it.
Mornings on ESPN Radio. It starts at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
KRNT Des Moines is 102.1 FM and 1350 ESPN. Des Moines sports leader.
And that was gone!
A Des Moines radio group station.
The following show on 102.1 FM and 1350 ESPN Des Moines is paid for by Outdoors Tradition TV LLC.
Calling all stations. Clear the air lanes. Clear all air lanes for the big broadcast.
Ready? All right, welcome to this week's edition of the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan on 1350 ESPN. Hope everyone's going crazy this morning all across the good old US of A. Hope everyone's having a nice Saturday morning. Beautiful. I actually got a hoodie on this morning. It was like, ooh, a little bit crisp out this morning. Not too bad.
A little bit chilly.
Yeah, a little rainy. So I threw a hoodie on. First time this summer. So always like that. Of course, by the time we get out of here at 9 o'clock, it'll probably be 83 or so. So it's at least you were able to do it once already, as we get closer. We got a good show for you today. We're going to be talking with Lieutenant Wayne Saunders from Wardens Watch and seeing what he's been talking with game wardens and biologists and all the fine folks all across the USA. We'll see what's going on in the outdoor world there. If you're a fishing fanatic, like I know a lot of you are, good morning, Ben. Let me just say it like this. We have a professional bass fisherman coming on. That's right, a professional bass fisherman. That's right. How about that? I got Mr. Brian Paul Velvick coming on. That's right, Brian Paul Velvick. How about that? Huh? Are you excited? I'm excited. And I'll tell you a little bit about his bio here as soon as I can find my stupid page. Brian was born in '64, same age as me. He won He's a two-time Bass U.S. Open champion. Previously held the Bass record for the 3-day limit up in Clear Lake, California. Velvick spent 2 years as commentator on ESPN's Bass Center. He has also been an on-air reporter contributing for ESPN. He retired from professional fishing at the end of 16 to spend more time with his family. So we're going to have a professional on. How about that? I am excited. Yeah, I hear you. So we'll see what's going on. Let me see what. Use the iPhone. Are you trying the iPhone?
Mm-hmm.
Did you try the iPhone? Did it work?
No.
What about the other number?
No.
Well, let me see here. Wayne, don't you love live shows? Wayne, we are. Andrew's all out of sorts this morning.
Something
Wayne,
like that.
We are.
Well, I got my trusty button bar.
Hot dog.
Call you. What number? What number are you at?
Or you could just go ahead and yell across the country.
Hey.
What's your name?
What's your name?
Uh,
Well, he's reading my text already. Show's brought to you in part by the good friends out of Three Rivers Boat and RV Storage in Carlisle. It's just $60 a month. $60 a month will get you a, I haven't got a call, 603-915. You got that number?
you see the rest? Thank you.
Yeah. Didn't I give you that number?
Yeah, you did, and it did not work.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll try it again.
All right, try it again. You probably dialed the wrong number. $60 a month for a 1 month free, 12 by 50 assigned spot, security cameras everywhere, discounts for multiple spots. Calling now. Let's see. Make an appointment with Dick, Tracy, or Danielle at 515-822-1362, and they will take great care. Morning, Hank. Morning, John. Morning, Dirk. Good morning, sunshine. All right, Richard's excited. I got John, Hank, and Jeff. Good morning, Jeff.
Excuse me, thanks for joining
Wish I felt better. Carry on. Jeff, I wish you felt better too. All right, he established communication, so that's fine. We'll be all right there. So anyway, if you need a place to store your boat, camper, trailer, all that stuff, that's where I go. And Dick and Danielle and Tracy will take great care of you at Three Rivers Boat and RV Storage. All right, let's head over to the phones. Did you all see I'm showing everybody on Facebook Live. I told you we were going to have some outdoor packs to start doing. We're going to do an outdoor pack. Look at these brand spanking blaze orange Alaskan Series Arctic Ice blocks. Huh? Look at that. Are those not beautiful? Just caught a couple of panfish in the northern off the dock. Dirk Stark is living life. I'm telling you, that's my buddy. That's my Flex family buddy. Have you guys seen that video yet? Let's go to the phones. I got Lieutenant Wayne on. Hey, Lieutenant Wayne.
Good morning, Dan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. Beautiful morning in the Northeast.
Mom always said that you never know what you're going to get in the Northeast until you go there.
That is the truth. That is the truth. Home of the world's worst weather.
Wayne, can you really say that though? I mean, I know you're up in New Hampshire, aren't you?
Yep. Well, Mount Washington has been coined the world's worst weather. So, the speed record for wind, and I coined it that way.
But I talked to some guys in Washington and Oregon this week, and they said that's the worst weather.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, if you Google Mount Washington, you'll see the location is for the world's worst weather.
I know.
Supposedly, there's three fronts that converge on the White Mountains, and that's why it's so traumatic. And we got 6,000 footers. That's what Mount Washington is, 6,288 feet.
Yeah.
And about 4,000 trees don't grow at 4,000 feet up here. So just to give you an idea where trees stop growing in the west. So it's just it's just the same. Whether they're getting at it probably, about 10,000 feet?
Yeah. Oh, I would think, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you get out to Mount Adams and Mount Hood and all that. Yep.
Yep, exactly. So it's very different, but I think the Northeast, the mountains here, are underrated, and people underestimate them until they get there and find out.
Yeah. Well, what are you going to do?
Yeah, but the weather patterns have been very different this summer. Let's face it, everywhere. So.
Yeah. Hey, what?
Hopefully, that's not going to affect the deer and all the game.
Well, no, you guys, for a small state, and I don't mean that disparaging, but you guys are, compared to some of the states, you're a smaller state, but you got a healthy deer population in Turkey. I mean, New Hampshire, you guys got some great game up there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And well, what's the beautiful thing about New Hampshire? We got the coastline too, so New Hampshire has a little bit of coast, and we have the mountains, and you can do it all within 3 hours. And there's not a lot of states that can do that.
Yeah. Well, what are you gonna do?
Exactly. Live where you like it. So, just coming back from Utah, I spent pretty much the month in Utah for the North American Wildlife Officers Conference and the International Game Warden Conference, and we took a week and went to Moab and experienced that, and yeah, it's just so different, and it's so exciting when I go to different places, no matter where I go, actually. So I love experience and the people, the culture, and the great outdoors.
Yeah. How long you been doing Warden's Watch now?
We started in 2019. I retired in 2018, and yeah, just kind of figured out what I wanted to do when I grew up because I did the best job in the world. And they always say when you do do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life, and they're right.
Yeah.
So I had to figure out something after the fact, and I said I did the best job in the world, and I loved it. How can I incorporate that into my future plans? And that's kind of how Warden's Watch developed, for sure. And I really enjoy it. And when I was in Utah, I did like 12 interviews out there. So I was busy canning that. I am lagging on the production side for sure this last month. So month of July, I didn't even put anything out. And I've got one in the can now, but it's not going to go out until next week.
Yeah, we need all the production you can get. Hey, and I got to tell you, people love your show on the Outdoor Call Radio app.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, we got you you're on every Wednesday with George Lynch from Legendary Gear, and we got you on with Keystone Experience with the guys from Pennsylvania, and people really like that Wednesday block.
That's great. Glad to hear it. So, really enjoy exposing them to game wardens, the other side. Being on Northwood's Law, I always call it the backstage of Northwood's Law or Lone Star Law. It's the stories you probably will never see on TV, but you can hear about them on Warden's Watch.
Hey, I was watching Northwood's Law. When were you on there?
It'd be the New Hampshire segment, and actually their very first episode in New Hampshire. Eric Fluette had the film crew that day, and he's one of my Northern Wardens, and it was a Tuesday, and it was raining, and I said to Eric, what are you going to do with the film crew on a Tuesday when it's raining? And he had a plan. He had some furs to seal, and but that day he had checked some fishermen in the rain.
Yeah.
And that evening we were on a drowning with one of those fishermen. So it was quite an episode, because they had checked the fishermen, and Eric had even given them a warning saying, hey, the water's going to come up, and be careful. And they had gone out in a canoe, and they didn't have life jackets on. And the canoe went upside down, and one of them never came back. And that was like a 4-day search before we finally found him.
Was that that was the father and blah 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 blah? I can't talk this morning. Was that the father and son one?
No, it was and it looked like a father and a son because of the age difference.
Okay,
but and it could have been. I don't think it was portrayed that way. It was actually a guy and his girlfriend and her son. So I guess you could have. They weren't married. So
okay.
Probably was the one you're thinking of.
Yeah, there was a couple of them. Was that in a lake or a river?
A river.
Okay, there's a couple.
The Androscoggin River.
Yeah, there's a couple on there that are in a creek or a river where the water came up and it didn't turn out good. Richard says that Warden's Watch is one of his favorites.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
Say hi to Richard. He can hear you.
Yeah, thanks, Richard. I really appreciate it. And, share it with, people that listen to Warden's Watch, if they could share it with other people, because like minds and like people hang together. So I'm sure your friends would like Warden's Watch, and spread the word. Get the other side. Game wardens have bad days too. We're not all bad people. And I'll tell you, the nice thing about being a game warden is 90% of the time you can be good. You work with hunters, you work with fishermen, you work with conservationists and biologists, and our mission is to, conserve our natural resources, and that's what the laws do. If we just created laws and we didn't have anybody to enforce those, think about that.
Yeah.
We're part of the North American Wildlife Management Program because law enforcement, you need teeth in it.
Oh, I was really good friends with a game warden's daughter in high school, and their house got shot at all the time. Some of the stuff that they had to put up with was just awful.
Yeah, for sure. If you're a game warden's kid, it's pretty interesting because you pretty much lived the game warden's life, and my son has no interest in being a game warden after seeing what I did. So
Yeah.
And it was just you come through the door at night and you turn around and you go back out.
Yeah.
Especially in northern New Hampshire, we're responsible for the search and rescue, and we have a lot of that. It was very good for the pension, but it was certainly tough on the family life.
Yeah, you guys, they were really good people. I don't know if Missouri doesn't do as much on the search and rescue and the law enforcement. I mean, I guess they're law enforcement still, but I think New Hampshire and Maine, and I think they're maybe a little more involved than Missouri's game wardens.
We are definitely the Northeast. And you mentioned in New Hampshire and Maine that we're by statute, both of us are responsible for search and rescue.
Yeah.
As you start to go further, you start to see sheriff's department, state police, and I'll tell you, if you're looking for people in the woods, and the sheriffs that run that know that, they'll call the game wardens first because that's almost their first line of defense because they know the people that operate in the woods and they call them. Pennsylvania's been doing a lot more search and rescue, especially on their land, so they've been taking a lead. They have a tracking team. They're very progressive, and I call game wardens the police in the woods. And when you're looking for somebody in the woods, call the game warden. He's called the Swiss Army knife of law enforcement.
Yeah, I was actually watching an episode. I don't know if it was. I think it was New Hampshire, but the lady that was doing the Appalachian Trail and she got lost.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and they found her like a year later or something.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I believe hunters actually found her.
Yeah, she got off the trail to do her business and got turned around, and that was you talk about a big search and rescue party. I mean, you guys, you had mobile RV camper units up there. I mean, you guys had everybody up there looking for her.
Yeah, and if you listen to my episode with Chris McCabe, Chris was a canine handler on that search and rescue, and we go into detail about that search. And he talks about, searching areas that he was walking on top of the spruce and fir because it was so thick. But when you do a line search, you gotta make sure it's searched, because when you go back to those search managers and you tell them you searched something, you want to make sure that they put it down as clear. So you really stick to that line as much as possible. So if there's a swamp, you're supposed to go through it, and a lot of us do.
Yeah.
I've been waist deep walking through water in a line search to clear a swamp. And recently we've been using drones in the spring when all the leaves are off. And,
yeah.
Rob McDermott is our drone operator, and he's a very progressive game warden. And this spring he took the drone out, and he found a body that we've been looking for the year before. So my hat's off to Rob doing that.
How did do you know where she was? I mean, are you familiar with that area?
Yep, she was in the Bigelows, so it's a mountain range in Maine.
Yeah.
It's very wild country. Some people don't think of the Northeast as having wilderness, but we have quite a bit of wilderness in the Whites and then throughout Maine. And Maine is a massive state with lots of trees.
They had I didn't know this, but on that Appalachian Trail, they got like cabins or lean-tos that you can spend the night. So you can kind of, plan your hike, your day, and then you got a shelter at night to sleep in. And she wasn't that far from the one shelter, unfortunately, but, I really felt bad for her family, because are those trails, are they, I mean, I guess I know how it is in Minnesota. There's parts of Minnesota I've been. If you walk 10 yards, you can get totally lost if you don't have a compass. So
yeah, I mean, some of those areas you step off, and without a compass, if you lose your sense of direction, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why you know, as game wardens, we always recommend everybody carry a compass, even in this modern day and age, because the compass always works and it's always pointing north.
Yeah.
So, and the other things they teach in the Boy Scouts, which I take my hat off to, is water. When water runs, it runs. Just follow the stream down until you intersect. Eventually, it drains into something else. It drains into something else. It crosses a road.
Well, there was. Yeah, she wasn't that far from a golf course.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that was sad. Are you ready for hunting season?
No.
Well, now you're retired. You get to go hunting, though.
I do. It's been awesome, an awesome experience to actually take some time and go hunting. I always hear from a lot of people, I would have liked to have been a game warden, but I like to hunt too much. And I will tell you, as a game warden, you know where to hunt.
Yeah.
Because you're always out there, you're interacting with people, and you're scouting. Let's face it, whether you like it or not, you're scouting. And you know exactly where you want to hunt. So I tell people that. I'm like, and I think I've changed a few minds. They're like, oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
You know, because we're always interacting with people. You know, we did a case, me and Eric flew out once, an illegal baiting case, and we hunted in and around the area. And we're talking miles, and I shot an 8-point buck probably a mile away. But we were looking for other illegal baits in the area. So we took our day of hunting, and we're like, hey, let's go up there, and we'll kick around and see if we can find something. And he eventually made that case. It was the last day of bow season, and there was fresh snow. There was about 6 or 8 inches of fresh snow. And as he passed by, he saw the vehicle there, and he'd been watching the spot the whole time. And he hiked into it on this guy's track. Fresh snow. It went right to a pile of corn and then right to the tree stand where the guy was sitting. It was like, you couldn't have asked for better evidence, you know, from fresh snow to, you know, following his trail to the corn that he dumped out to his tree stand on the last day of the archery season.
Yeah, let me guess. He probably said, well, I didn't know that was there. That must have been under the snow.
That's one case, Dan. I don't think he did.
That's funny, Wayne. That's funny. Hey, hang on. I got to take a real quick break. We'll be right back with Lieutenant Wayne Saunders from Warden's Watch. It's the Outdoor Call Radio on 1350 ESPN. We'll be right back.
OnX Hunt helps hunters be more successful in the field each season.
Morning, everybody. If you guys got questions for Lieutenant Wayne, just put it in the comments there, and I'll ask him for you. So later today, we're going to do a fall pack, and I talked to Pam like last week or the week before from Flex Fletch. Starting next year, first quarter, we'll have some Flex packs to award, so you'll have stuff to get ready for your turkey season and your indoor shooting stuff. So, but for the fall, we're gonna do. I've got a Work Sharp sharpener and that brand spanking new Blaze Orange Arctic Ice Alaskan brick. We're gonna give 2 of these away today. And then here in a couple weeks, we're gonna have some Woodhaven Intimidator grunt calls and stuff like that with some other stuff. So we got some neat stuff coming. I love that Intimidator call. That's a really, really nice. I've been playing with it a little bit at home. You can really make some good vocalizations. And snort wheeze is off the hook. I like that. I can't wait to use that this fall. Not that far away.
Agent at 515-964-7575 today.
American Family Insurance.
American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hello, this is Dave from JLM Shooter Supply in Urbandale. We are a full-service gun shop that specializes.
Did y'all see who won the fishing trip? Kathy Corey. She was so happy when I called her, man.
As well as folks who like to hunt.
That's pretty cool. I mean, we gave away that whitetail hunt to Kansas back in turkey season, and then we gave a fishing trip away. That's pretty good for the app this year, huh? 2 good trips. I got to work on something for next year, trip-wise.
JLM also has a full-time gunsmith on board that can help with all your gun repair needs. So from ammo and hearing protection, gun cleaning kits, holsters, and sights,
that's nice of you, Richard.
Please stop by Richard at 6931 Douglas Avenue in Urbandale. or call us at 515.
Yeah, GLM's got a new site up too. You can go to. They got a blog on it and everything. Go check that out.
1577.
GLM Shooter Supply.
If you're an archer, you know how important the feel and performance of a bow is on your ability to send that arrow to where it needs to go. Not all bows are made the same, and that's especially true when it comes to gearhead. Gearhead bows are made in the USA and feature models that are compact, quiet, and lightweight.
Well, the new apps are up on the network. If you go to if you're an Apple, you're an iPhone user. The iOS apps are up. Look at that; they look totally different. They're more user friendly. You got all of our social media feeds, and then you can also message the station. See, there's a message the station button there, and then there's an on demand. That middle button on the bottom is an on demand. Right now, I've got that set to unknown files. So if you haven't heard any of the unknown files shows, that's the Bigfoot UFO one. Morning, Chris. You can go back and listen to all the old ones on the app now. That's brand new. So I'll probably move that over to Buck Talk Radio when we start here in a few weeks after I get a few shows on. We'll either do that or we'll do Hunting for X's, so you can catch some good programming. Okay. So really happy how the app turned out. So if you're an Android or an Apple, if you've already got the app, just go back and reload it or delete it and get it back again. Did you have to delete it and put it back on, or did you just hit refresh?
I had to delete and put it back on.
So just delete the app and go back to your app store and put it back on, and you'll have the new app. They told me all you would have to do is update it, so maybe that's what they meant. I don't know. That was Friday. Friday, I was up 3 in the morning till 5:30 in the morning working with them because they're in England. The time difference is killing me.
Hey y'all, my name is Tiara, and a little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A
Hey,
spicy
y'all.
chicken biscuit is that it has the perfect amount of spice to jumpstart my day. Whoever thought of it, thank you.
What's
so much.
everybody doing this weekend?
My name is Robert.
Going fishing?
I love about Chick-fil-A spicy chicken biscuit.
I know Chris is out there putting cameras probably up. All I had to do was update. Richard said all he had to do was an update. Thank you, Richard. Was that on Android or on iTunes? Richard.
You're listening to the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan on 1350 ESPN. Turning water again.
All right, welcome back to Outdoor Call Radio. I will be fishing tonight, Richard, on Facebook Live on iTunes. So iTunes, if you're on the like listening to the Outdoor Call Radio Network, if you want to, we got new apps out, and all you have to do is go to the App Store and on iTunes and just hit refresh on the app or update, and it'll do it. On Android, you probably need to just delete the app and put it back on, and you'll have the brand new app. But I was telling everybody on Facebook Live on the stream that during the break that we got it's a way better app now. You got on-demand features on there. You can message the station. All of our social media things are there. It was definitely worth all the hard work. So go check out the new Outdoor Call Radio app today. It's all free. Always will be free to you and free to listen. Speaking of free, Lieutenant Wayne's on the line. What's up there, Lieutenant Wayne?
Glad to be back, Dan. I appreciate it.
So now you're shooting crossbows this year, right?
I am.
Yeah. What kind of fletching do you have on those bolts?
Whatever Excalibur puts on them.
If you need to refletch your bolts, I want you to try Flex, and I want you to try an SK2 vane.
Okay.
You'll be surprised how much quieter your bolt's going to be.
Really, because that's key for sure.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't mind making things quieter, especially in the crossbow realm, because as a tendency, as a matter of fact, I'm switching broadheads because 150 grains shoots quieter than anything else on my Excalibur bow.
Well, there you go.
So, yeah, so it's all about trying to keep it quiet, and hopefully, it's over before they hear anything. That's the beauty of a crossbow, the speeds it's traveling.
Yeah, definitely want to take them out humanely, that's for sure. Hey, what are you hearing across the country as far as deer wise from other game wardens or biologists? Iowa came up with some more CWD this last month up in a certain county.
And Florida had its first case of CWD in Florida, which is, taking Florida, but they kind of expected it coming because it's been in Georgia.
Yeah.
Now they have it in a wild population too. So it's, I don't think CWD is going anywhere. Unfortunately, it's here to stay. So that's what I'm hearing. Florida, like you said, it's here, and it has a tendency to pop up here and there. And Wisconsin took that view of pretty much reducing the herd in the area, so it reduces spreading. And that's kind of what we've done with our moose with winter tick too. We've increased our tags in the state of Maine for sure to reduce moose population, to reduce ticks, to try to keep a healthy population and bring them down to where they can survive the ticks. So very similar processes, I think, in thought pattern. CWD is, reducing that population to reduce the spread.
Yeah. I'm really jealous about you for your moose. I mean, I wish I could go moose hunting. I just...
it's funny. I can't even count how many moose I've killed. I've never been on a moose hunt, but I've probably killed hundreds, and it may be even in the thousands.
You've been with your vehicle?
No. I hit one with a cruiser.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, it was a calf, so I drove away. My sergeant actually was on the way to pick up an officer that had hit a moose, and his truck was totally smashed up, and he hit a moose on the way to get him. So we had two cruisers out of commission, and I was called to help pick up the pieces of all that too. So.
Well, how are you killing all the other ones?
Just in the course of duty. Most of them were hit on the road that I had to put down.
No, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Boy, that brainworm. That's weird.
Come back. It is. It is.
I mean, I
have killed a lot of moose and a lot of bear actually too.
Yeah. It's almost like CWD. They just don't act normal, and they walk around in circles. I mean, is that real prevalent up there still?
It is prevalent when deer populations and moose populations, combine. So if you have a high deer population, you're going to see a lot of brainworm because they carry it. They're the carriers, and the moose actually get it.
Did they get it from the deer droppings?
I believe that is. So
okay.
They end up browsing deer droppings. Don't quote me on that.
Well, no, that just popped into my head, and you know how that scary of a place that is, Wayne. But I thought I read somewhere that they thought the hypothesis was it was something to do with it was carried through the deer droppings where they're feeding, and that's how that was cross-contaminated. But I knew it was related to the whitetail.
Yeah, it definitely is. And and if someone's listened to my podcast or me talk, I talk about brainworm, and one of the most scary incidents I ever had as a game warden involved brainworm, and we had a cow moose. She was circling right in too close to houses, so we couldn't put her down. And that's a typical thing of a moose going around and around in circles. So much it looked like a racetrack that she was on. She had been running so much.
Wow.
But I had just watched National Geographic where these guys put up their arms and grunted and rocked and to attract bull moose. And I said to the trooper I was with, Pete Pelletier, I said, hey, let me try this. And it was kind of more of a joke, Dan, than anything.
Yeah.
So there was an adjacent field, and Pete had a shotgun. And I started rocking and grunting, and didn't that cow straighten out and come right at me at a dead run? And for a minute, I'm in the middle of an open field by myself, and Pete's there with a shotgun. But I am like, I got that pucker factor. Like, I can't outrun this animal, and it's coming hard. And all I can think is, I hope Pete doesn't miss. And he didn't, thank goodness. Pete was a sniper, so he's a pretty good shot. But I had the old pucker factor when she straightened out and came running. I mean, a running moose right at me. And I am like, uh-oh. I never expected that to work, and it did.
Okay, now be honest with everybody. Rocky the squirrel popped into your head when that was happening, didn't it?
Oh, no, nothing was popping in my head other than I was in big trouble if Pete missed.
I'm telling you what, man, that's like having a truck coming at you.
100%. And usually when we deal with those, we'll put a guy in the back of the bed of a pickup truck, and we'll get them in proximity because they have the protection of the truck, and they shoot out of the truck at a moose like that. So that's generally how we roll when it comes to that. So you actually have some protection. And yeah, that was me being, hey, this is funny. I just saw this, and yeah, it worked. And I was like, yeah, no, I had lots of things going through my head. So, and my pants.
Yeah, I can't even imagine that. I just, like I said, I went up for the first time in Alberta last year. Was it last year, Andrew? That was last year, wasn't it? Yeah. And I got within 85 yards of one. They're just huge, but I was self-filming and I couldn't get a bow shot on it, filming it myself. But man, I tell you what, I'm telling you, Wayne, that's gonna happen before I get too old. I want to get at least one moose.
Yeah, you should. I was deer hunting once, and I saw there was a cow like 30 feet from me, and I'm watching her as from the other side of the spruce thicket, and we're talking only about 10 feet.
Yeah.
A bull steps out, and I'm 10 feet away from that bull.
Yeah.
That's close in a hunting situation.
Well, I love, and moose meat's awesome.
Oh, it's delicious.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean, of all the deer, I love elk. But, I mean, and our whitetails in Iowa, Wayne, are really good eating. I mean, they're corn and soybean fed, so it's like eating beef.
I hope I get to taste one of those sometime.
You know what? You put in for a tag. You can come and hunt with me.
Well, that sounds like a plan.
It's going to be It's just going to take you 5 years to draw a tag. I'm just telling you.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. But wow. Unless you can pull some strings, but I'm just telling you, it's the average.
I highly doubt it.
Yeah, the average person, it's 4 or 5 years. But yeah, I'll be more than happy to let you come and hunt with me.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be a good time. Anything going on the rest of the summer that you're doing on Warden's Watch?
Oh, I have a couple fundraisers coming up that I'm involved with. One it's pretty cool. It's called AIM, and it's a youth shooting team. So they shoot trap. So the game wardens in New Hampshire get together for a fundraiser, and we shoot trap against this youth league. And AIM stands for, and I'll have to look at it, but it's like integrity, and I forget. But it's a good thing. It's almost like 4-H.
Yeah.
And these kids are good. So far, we haven't beat them. So, and generally, I'm one of the top shooters. And, I went to shoot trap the other day. I probably shot the worst rounds of my life. So now I'm a little worried.
You know, one of the things that when I was watching Northwood's Law, I mean, I what do they call that when you just watch episode after episode? I binged it.
You're binging?
Yeah, I binged it like a couple days. And I can't believe how many people shoot across the road turkey hunting out there.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. Yeah. I mean, are the woods that tight to the roads?
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're tight, and then your fields aren't very big either in the Northeast. So you have some big farm fields, but the majority, we have a lot of small little openings and stuff. So it makes it very conducive to shooting from the road. And yeah, that's definitely a prevalent problem. And let's face it, the turkey's probably the number one poached wild game in the North America.
Yeah.
Because there's no evidence left. I mean, when you shoot a turkey, you throw it in the back of the car, it doesn't leave a whole lot unless there's eyewitnesses to account that for us to see. So
yeah.
Or we set up a turkey decoy, which some of those ones you saw probably had a turkey decoy.
Well, I know the one I saw was it was a boyfriend and a boyfriend and his girlfriend, and she shot across the road and actually hit a retired game warden's gate. And they went in there and they found the shot in the post of the gate, and they went back and did telemetry to find out where she actually shot, and it wasn't even close to what their original story was. It was pretty good. It was a pretty good story.
Yeah, and then, everybody learns from that show is that people lie.
Yeah.
And as cave wardens, it's hard to tell people that you're so used to being lied when people tell you the truth.
Yeah.
It kind of takes you off kilter because you get so many lies.
I just can't believe you said that on live radio. People actually lie, Wayne. I'm shocked.
I know. It is shocking, but hey, the proof's in the pudding. You binge watch Northwood's Law, you see it time after time.
I'm telling you. All right, buddy. Listen, I that always goes too quick when we have you on. Can I get you back on before Christmas?
Oh, absolutely. I love hanging out with you, Dan. I love talking to your listeners, and hopefully they'll be listening to Warden's Watch so they get a little experience game wardens across North America and the world.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, man, it's one of the favorites on the network. I hear that quite a bit. So keep up the great work, and I'm just honored to have you on the app and the network, and thank you for letting us air your show.
Well, Well, thank you. It's been fun getting to know you.
Yeah, my pleasure, buddy. Hey, where can people get, if they got questions or if they want to see what you're up to, what's the best way to follow you?
I believe we're on social media, so Wardens Watch is on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're even on TikTok. I throw some things up on TikTok every now and then, too. I actually have a Warden video that went viral, like 2.3 million people liked it, so it's kind of fun there. But, yeah, all those spots, and we have our webpage is wardenswatch.com. So, and there's episodes there as well as access to, my book, A Cowboy in the Woods, and John Norris's stuff's on there. So it's a pretty good resource to go there as well. So,
all right, buddy.
Thank you.
Hey, you have a good rest of your summer, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Take care, Dan. Thank you.
Thank you, Wayne. There he goes, Lieutenant Wayne Saunders, right there, man. Good guy. Good guy. All right, I am late for a break. We'll be right back on 1350 ESPN. I like that guy. He's just a fun guy. I'd love to go bow hunting with him.
Issues.
There's just certain people that you want to go hang out with. Andrew's not one of them. Guess what 5 days is? 5 days. In 5 days, Andrew's reign of lucking into the most anticipated, appreciated fantasy football league in the country, the Outdoors Dan Money League, will be over.
No, you got to dethrone the king.
No, it's over.
The king is still number one.
Gone. We start over.
Still number one.
No, you're going to be 0.0.
If somehow you can get better than one, yeah, sure.
0.0. The quote Animal House, 0.0.
Yeah, the number of losses I will have this year.
No, if we're going number of losses, it's going to be 17.
There's one place in Ankeny that's your one-stop outdoor
No
shop.
way.
That's
Yep.
Sportsman's Warehouse.
I'm just telling you, it's going to be good.
You need for fishing, hunting, firearms, and camping gear.
Hey,
Any outdoor trip.
Iowa Bow Hunters has got their fall festival up at Pine Lake this weekend. If you're looking for something to do, if you want to go shoot, go check them out up there at Pine Lake. They got some neat stuff going on up there.
All your meat easy to prepare. Kayaks and boat gear are also on hand to help you find more fish when you go wet alive. Sportsman's Warehouse has all the footwear and clothing choices at great prices that will make sure you are outdoors in comfort and style.
Can't believe it's August already.
You can also go shop 24/7.
I was down at the fair yesterday. I had to go get media credentials because we're going to go film some stuff at Cookies for Respect the Game TV.
Sportsman's Warehouse in Ankeny.
And, boy, that place was packed already.
What fair?
Hey, Larry
Iowa
Mack,
State
what
Fair.
is going on over at
What'd I
Scott
say?
Archery, man? Social media is
Iowa
blowing
State
up
Fair
with
already?
these new releases.
Yeah, the
Can you
fair's
tell
next
me
week.
about the new S2 Select?
Yeah, but they got people. That place was busy. They have people putting their stuff up, and they were cooking, testing stuff because you could smell like steaks cooking, and I mean, Raven was going nuts. He could smell the food. Yeah, they had a Canadian thing there that I've never seen before, and it's Ontario Canadian food, or I don't know. I'll have to see what that's all about.
So you get two triggers, you get a forward trigger and a
Yep,
rear
summer's going fast. However, the bar months are my favorite. Richard, God bless you. I agree 100%. The burr months are my favorite time of the year.
so you can fine tune adjust to get
When
the
it
shot
gets
to
to
break.
burr, I'm happy. I'm a happy man.
Check these out if you want more information.
Because by September, Andrew will be in last place.
There you go.
Hey, Outdoors Dan here. How many times have you
There
had to quit
you
hunting
go.
because your feet got colder or uncomfortable? Well, I have a way to keep your feet feeling great in any
When I
weather
win it
or
all again
outdoor
this
activity.
year.
Team last place.
Norlander Sock Company uses high-quality alpaca to produce some of the best socks out there. Alpaca socks.
We got some good fishing coming up. I'm excited for hunting season, but boy, we got some really good fishing coming up here in the next couple months too.
Encounter, plus work with your outdoor footwear to keep your feet temperature where they need to be. Alpaca socks also has a natural antibacterial quality to them that will keep your socks from smelling. They have heavyweight and lightweight styles with a bunch of color and size choices for you to choose from. Plus, gift boxes are available that are 100% guaranteed. So this year, when you plan your outdoor activities, make sure you keep your feet comfortable and feeling great all day. Try a pair of Norlander.
I got to put a ladder stand together. Fall fishing and upland bird hunting. Boy, the upland hunting is going to be phenomenal. Brant and all my upland hunting buddies that listen to the show, they're saying this is going to be one of the best Iowa pheasant hunting seasons ever.
We're a club car dealer, so we've got a nice selection of new onward.
I wasn't here in the 70s or the 80s.
We've got a number of pre-owned golf carts and all.
I don't know if it's going to be comparable to that, but they're saying it's going to be better than the last 3 years. So
check out our website for a complete.
My Brittany is so ready, Richard says.
In these times when a lot of us are working from home, it's even more important to make sure.
So nice I can see your comments now. I don't have to cheat on my phone. Isn't it nice? I don't understand why I had to switch it to see it. That's weird, but at least it's working.
Is your house too dry and giving your family issues? A Honeywell dehumidifier system installed with your AC heating system can solve that issue right away. Wyckoff Heating and Cooling is a family-owned and operated business that has been serving Iowa residents and businesses for over 70 years. They offer 24-hour service and programs like the Peace of Mind Plan for less than $15 a month. So if you want more time on the water or in the woods this year, please call the
Definitely
folks
want
at
more
Wyckoff
time on the
Heating and
water
Cooling
in the
for
woods.
any of your home or business heating and cooling needs. One call to Wyckoff Heating and Cooling will bring you peace of mind
Man, I got
under
something
your
stuck in
roof
my thumb.
every day.
I was playing with Raven yesterday. I got a splinter or something in there.
This is the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan on Des Moines Sports Leader, 1350 ESPN.
All right, welcome back to your fantasy football headquarters right here at 1350 ESPN, the home of the Outdoor Call Radio Money League, America's most anticipated fantasy football league in the United States, where Andrew will be in the bottom this year.
Nah, keep dreaming. Keep dreaming.
Hey, I want to speaking of winners, not Andrew. Kathy Corey was the winner of the Pines Resort fishing trip. Congratulations to Kathy. She's going to get a brand new Trika fishing rod. She got a 4-night, 3-day stay at the Pines Resort up at Lake Winnie in Minnesota. She got a $200 Bojangle gift card. Bait. She's going to get some walleye and bass baits, thanks to Bo Harris. She got a brand new Grizzly cooler heading her way, and something else she got in there. But anyway, congratulations, Kathy. She was so excited when I drew. I didn't draw it. The random number generator.
Oh yeah.
And I made a video. I've learned to make a video, so that way I got proof.
You got visual evidence.
Evidentiary. That's right. Evidentiary. But she was so excited and stuff. So congratulations. We'll have some new stuff. Buck Talk Radio starts September 6th. My first guest will be Philip Vanderpool. That'll be brought to you by Woodhaven Deer Calls, Woodhaven Custom Calls Deer Calls. We got Flex Fletch products, some of the most quiet and durable vanes for your arrows and bolts out there. Flex Fletch, go check them out. Minnesota company, USA. USA. Let's see. Who else do I got on there? Game Hide, Sportsman's Warehouse, and fourth arrow, Camera Arms, Winsent. Got some good sponsors on that show, so I'm looking forward to that. All right, told you about Kathy Corey. Pure Whitetail. Pure Whitetail is also helping us. We're going to have some gift cards. Tony, make fun of Andy, Dan. Make fun of Andrew. It's Andrew, not Andy. Andy was on the Mayberry, Tony. He will be in last place. Tony says you're going down.
Well, Tony's
going, Andrew's going down, Dan. That's how, and I'm not making fun of Tony. I love Tony. That's how Tony talks. That's how Tony sounds.
Yeah.
Hey, Dan.
Kind of spot on.
Tony's been listening to me for almost 19 years,
wow.
If not longer. And I can do Tony's voice.
That's a top fan right there.
Yeah. Hey, Dan. What you doing, Dan?
Tony?
We like Tony.
We got to have you do an impersonation of Dan.
Hey, did you hear what Onyx is coming up with? I had a meeting with Onyx this week. Check this out. I talked about this on the Wednesday Drive. If you haven't listened to the Wednesday Drive, you can listen to it on the Outdoor Call Radio app every week on Wednesdays at 5 o'clock. I go live at 5 on the Outdoor Call Radio app. And you can watch us on Facebook, on the Facebook, the Outdoor Call Radio page on Facebook. So I've got like 4 pages on Facebook. It's Dan Young, Outdoors Dan, the Outdoor Call Radio, and then Buck Talk. But everything will be live streamed on the Outdoor Call radios. For some reason, I had to take it off of Dan Young and put it on the Outdoor Call Radio so I could see everybody's comments. Don't ask me why, but that we figured out how to at least do it, so that's all right. But what was I just talking about? What was I just talking about? I just totally went brain dead there. Oh, Onyx. Onyx is going to have where you can take your trail camera. If you got a cellular trail camera, listen to this. This is going to blow your mind. If you got a cellular trail camera, you're going to be able to upload your camera up to your Onyx page on your phone, on your mobile device, and you're actually going to be able to upload buck pictures that you want to target. And Onyx's software is going to be able to tell you whenever you get a new picture, you're going to get an alert on your Onyx telling you if it's a buck or a doe that's being pictured. And you're going to be able to put target bucks on there and say like you got one of your target bucks daylighting. It's going to alert you on your phone that your target buck is daylighting. Is that not mind-blowing? And that's I mean, we've had periodic tables, not periodic tables, but we've had tables, you know, like on our GPSs and stuff that said today like is an optimal time for deer movement, game movement's going to be good because of the moon phase and stuff. This is going to tell you if your deer is daylighting or not. I'm just telling you what, if you don't have Onyx, you need to get it because that stuff's going to be a game changer. I'm just telling you. The only thing bad about it is, you know darn well if you're sitting in one stand on your property and your Onyx goes off and it's the buck you're after, he's on your other camera. Now that's going to be annoying. You know, like really? You know, wind conditions could be wrong, you know, for that stand. I'm just telling you, but they've got 2D, 3D filters or screens on Onyx now where you can actually go and see the ridges or the rises of the property. They even got a thing on there now in the Onyx Labs where if you got your satellite picture and it's full of green leaves, if it's like during the spring or summer, you can actually go in there and take the leaf filter off and actually see down into your ground floor of the timber. I'm just telling you right now, they've done some amazing stuff this year. Onyx is going to be. Everybody's going to be talking about Onyx from now on. I mean, that's just amazing to me. All right, let's do the outdoor news real quick. Do I got to take a break again soon? In a minute. Black Hawk Lake, water temperatures in the 80s. Crappie are fair, gills are fair, catfish and bass are fair, wallies are slow. Brushy Creek, black crappie bite is fair, bluegills are fair, largemouth bass and perch are fair. North Twin Lake, black crappie is fair, channel catfish fair. Storm Lake, all walleye between 19 and 25 inches must be immediately released unharmed at Storm Lake. No more than one walleye longer than 25 inches can be taken per day. Catfish are fair, walleye are fair. Swan Lake, gills are fair. Fish are around 7 inches. You can try a piece of crawler under a bobber near the edge of vegetation. Let's see, Beads Lake. Morning, Roger in New York. What's going up there, Roger? Roger Dodger. Beads Lake, black crappie good, gills are fair, largemouth are fair. Clear Lake, black crappie are fair, channel catfish are good, largemouth are fair, yellow bass are fair. Rice Lake, largemouth bass are fair, yellow perch. Let me take a break. I'll do the rest of the reports, and I got some other info about antler measurements for deer hunters and some other stuff to get to. I'll be right back on the Outdoor Call Radio.
Trails are not always easy. That's why your boots need to fit and perform when you're outdoors. Itasca Footwear has been helping folks on their adventures for over 40 years. Itasca learned
Ask him what his question is, because I don't know if I'm going to have time for him, because I got to do the rest of the fishing reports.
For the whole family in all situations. Whether you're out elk hunting, chasing moose, or whitetails, riding snowmobile trails, or ice fishing in sub-zero weather, Itasca Footwear
Tony, what's your
will provide
question
you not
in
only a
advance
great
here?
fit, but comfort for all-day adventures. Itasca has sizes and styles for the whole family. You want to give them the same comfort and fit that you look for in footwear,
Veins on the
so
crossbow.
everyone can enjoy their day.
What were they?
What are you looking to ask him for
Millions
that?
of customers at most major and family-owned retails. For more information or footwear styles, please go to
Same veins if you can use for a compound.
Itasca
Okay.
Footwear. They will keep you on the move.
Perfect. I'll get to him here. We got the
Tell him to go get Flex Clutch
You love hearing
Veins
that old Tom sound
SK2s.
off while you're in the field.
I think he had mentioned doing SK2s from
Hey guys,
Flex.
it's Outdoors Dan here. The live action
Those
decoys
would be
are
the
one
ones,
of the most
the best
realistic
ones to
decoy
use
systems you can deploy
when it
while
comes
you're
to
in the
that.
field turkey hunting.
The
Wade and
V2
Teresa Goddard start with the
from
Dave
Flex.
Smith Gobbler
SK2.
SK2, sorry. SK2s
that allows you to
Flex.
raise your
Flex.
decoy's tail fan
Those
up and
would
down,
be the ones that
move
he
it
would
side to side,
advise
and even
to
walk that
use
tom
instead.
up and back while it's on the platform. The live action decoys are so amazingly lifelike.
We got.
Tell him I ain't going to be able to get him on for the break.
Yeah, we're going to be
Plus, the good thing is
looking
they're
through.
made
He's
right
got
here in
another
the good
segment
old
he has to
US
hit
of A.
before this final
For more
break.
information about a live action
You try
decoys,
giving a
please
call
check them
later
out
if
on
you really
Facebook
want,
or
but
call them
as
at
far as this hour goes, we're kind of booked up, it looks like.
815-674-1626. Take it from me, Outdoors Dan. They're going to help you be more successful in the field this year.
All right, hey, take care.
Heading to your favorite outdoor spot. Is your hunting, fishing, or utility knife ready?
I got it. Perfect.
Well, if you used the original Work Sharp knife and tool sharpener before you left, you bet they are. The Work Sharp knife and tool sharpener is designed to sharpen every knife you own. By using changeable, flexible, abrasive belts, the sharpening system is.
If you like professional fishing, bass fishing,
knives, tonto blades, fillet knives, gut hooks.
we got a good guest next hour. ESPN contomator. That's right, contomator. Mr. Brian Paul Velvick. Heard you talking about the SK2s. Well, thank you, Dirk. I appreciate that. Make sure you tell Pam I'm doing my job.
Consider checking out one of the Work Sharp knife and tool sharpeners or the Work Sharp guided field sharpener at a store near you. Or anytime at Work
I just actually had a caller asking what those were, so Andrew just told him that's what he needed to get.
If you're into the outdoors, whether it's camping, hunting, or fishing, you want your camping setup to be easy and your stay as comfortable as possible. Camprite has been helping folks enjoy the outdoors as problem-free as possible since 1999. Camprite employees are outdoor enthusiasts. Use and design each product to make sure your adventures are.
I love the burr months.
They carry great tents like the original tent cot that started it all.
Oh, thank you, Dirk. I really appreciate that, buddy. Thank you.
Standard sleeping cot with the added protection of a tent. Camprite features several models of tent cots units, including single and double units. They also specialize in sleeping bags, camping tables, cooking prep units, chairs, and other fine quality outdoor products. With over 17 years of field testing all these great outdoor gear products, Camprite is the right choice to make your adventures comfortable and carefree. Check out all these Camprite products at your local Sportsman's Warehouse store or on the web at camprite.com. That's Camprite with a K.com.
Tacticam has launched the best-in-class cellular trail camera, the #1 selling action camera in the industry. The new Reveal by Tacticam will change the way you scout forever. Not only is it one of the easiest to set up, but the most affordable cellular camera on the market.
Yeah, I don't know on that ASCAP. I can't find where to download music like Artlist. So I don't know. I think that just gives us the license to play it.
Without going into the field.
I just think like whatever we see on that, if there's any songs labeled, that means it has to mean we can go.
I think we should just keep. Here's what I want you to do: just download as much as you can from what we have already. Artlist.
That's why I've already been.
Yeah, and then that way we have them, and we'll never have an issue.
Yeah. I'm downloading as much as I can, whatever new they put out.
Yeah, because I'm not going to play. I'm not going to play stuff you hear on the radio, because that way we never have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Yep, let's go. All right, welcome back to the Outdoor Call Radio. Let me finish the fishing reports. Rice Lake looking good. Silver Lake, gills, bass, and perch are good. Lake Wapello, black crappie bite is slow. Drifting minnows in deeper water. Bluegills are fair. Small jigs along the shoreline. Cannel catfish are fair. Rathbun, current lake levels in 903. Black crappie are fair, catfish are fair, wallies are fair, wipers are doing okay. Red Hawk Lake, bluegill are fair. Try using small jigs. Change your retrieval speed until you find active fish. Catfish are fair, bass are fair. Little River watershed, catfish are slow. Night crawlers along the timber are best for the catfish bite. 3 Mile Lake docks are in on the main ramp. Gills are slow. They're still catching gills up early morning, late evening, up to 9 inches. 12 Mile Creek Lake, black crappie bite is slow. Gills are slow. Crawler tip, a jig tip with a crawler along the mounds are producing the best bite. Water temperatures in the low 80s. That's your fishing report for today, brought to you by the fine folks at Sportsman's Warehouse. DNR adds main beam antler link to harvest requiring reports. So that means beginning this year, Iowa deer hunters who harvest a buck will have an additional piece of info to report, and that's going to be the length of the main beam. All they really want to know is if the main beam length is below or above 14 inches, not the exact length, above or below 14 inches. And what they're trying to do, they're trying to find out 90% of the deer measured with the deer with antlerless beams less than 14 inches were 1.5-year-olds. Antler beams 14 inches or over were about 2.5-year-olds. They're trying to just determine some age info on the deer. All right, we'll be right back with Byron talking a little bass fishing on 1350 ESPN.
Hi, this is Dr. Don Gilbert from New Life Counseling Services with offices in West Des Moines and Aiken.
Dr. Don, I think he's got his golf tournament today. Dr. Don, golf it up, buddy.
Parenting struggles, anxiety, depression, or folks just looking for
What are old Larry Mack's doing? I didn't talk to Larry yesterday.
looking for someone to help you find answers to a better relationship.
I know he was out there he got a lot of rain down in Missouri where his farm is. I know he was out there putting the Backwoods Premium Wildlife blends in. I think he got his fall food plots in.
Brian or Byron?
Byron.
Right to the heart of the matter. We work with you so you can discover better choices on how to handle the issues you had it by
Brian. I did not. It says Byron on my notes.
Consider calling us for a confidential appointment at New Life.
All right, he wants you to call me this morning here. That's the he just texted me. Call him on that number.
5003 in Ankeny.
Is that the
also
number?
find us 24/7 at newlifecounseling.com. We are here to help you when you need us.
Our dogs are part of the family, and we want to protect them at all times. Do you live in an area that you want to keep open and not have a traditional fence to protect your pet? No worries. Call Chris at Pet Stop of Des Moines. Chris Spoltra is the owner of the Pet Stop franchise in the Des Moines area and has been keeping pets safe for over 19 years. A Pet Stop system will not only keep your pet from leaving your desired area outside, but can also be set up to keep your pet out of areas in your home. The Pet Stop system is underground, keeping your property open and easy to maintain. Plus, with a friendly user app on your phone, you can customize the Pet Stop system to help your dogs enjoy their playtime and stay safe at the same time. For more information on how to protect your buddy and keep your home
this is
looking
Andrew at
great,
the
call
Outdoor Call Radio. How's it going?
515-2190 or go online
Hey, I
at
appreciate you coming along
petstop.com.
for the ride here this morning. Thanks again for doing
Outdoors
it.
Dan recommended and Raven approved.
Raven approved. Did you hear that? That dog of mine.
There you go.
I was doing a video for FlexFletch telling the story of how the company was founded and stuff, and I got a black nose coming in under my arm while I'm trying to do the video. He wants me to throw the ball.
I'll just put you on.
It's on my Facebook page post if you want to see it. That dog of mine is a mess. Andrew's gonna lose this year. Fantasy football, he will learn to fear. He'll be last in the league, will he be? Team first place is going down real deep.
Hey, you know what? Keep saying what you want. Said it last year. And I won.
Yep, everybody's got it out for the boy. But, you know, it's okay if you win, but when you win and you can't shut up about it.
I only do it when you bring it up.
He's got that over on his pillow. I won the league.
Call radio with Outdoors Dan on 1350 ESPN.
All right, welcome back to the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan on 1350 ESPN. Second hour number 2 is brought to you by the fine folks at Elite Archery. Have you taken the Shitability Challenge yet? Have you seen the new era, the Omnia? Well, go check them out. They also got, I'm telling you what, that Terrain is a nice bow. If you're on a budget, I would not be afraid to take the Terrain anywhere. I said, son, anywhere out there. Whether you're going elk hunting, moose hunting, that Terrain for the money is one of the best bows out there in my humble opinion. I love the Omnia I'm shooting at right now. And with the set technology and being able to dial in your draw length to 1/4 of an inch, customize your draw like number 4, and that set technology, tuning your broadheads with one little Allen twist on both ends of the riser is some of the best features in the archery community in my humble opinion. So go out there and you'll see what all the fuss is about. You can check them out at Archery Field and Sports or at Sportsman's Warehouse Elite. Go check them out. All right, speaking of elite, we're going to go talk to a guy that is an elite outdoor bass communicator. He's been doing it for a long time. Actually, he just retired. I thought he was still doing it, but he's so good, it just keeps going along. Right, Byron?
I don't know about that, man. I like to think that I still know how to catch a bass or two, but I'm pretty rusty, sure. So I got the U.S. Open coming up in October. I guess I'll find out this October if I still got the skill set to win my 3rd U.S. Open, but who knows?
Oh, come on. You know you do. Just throw that whopper plopper out there and let them have it.
I wish it was a whopper plopper. That's a fun bite, but I did good last year. I actually was in the top 20 last year, so I feel like I have a shot at actually winning that event, and pretty excited about going back to the U.S. Open. So we'll see what happens. It's interesting being retired and having to go cold turkey and not watch fishing TV shows anymore, that's for sure.
I want to know one thing, Byron. You and I are the same age. How in the world are you retired and I'm going to have to work until I'm going to be doing broadcasting on a walker, man?
You know, I tell people I retired from fishing, and people laugh. They go, people retire to go fishing. Like, nobody retires from fishing.
Yeah.
That's what you do when you retire. So it's almost an oxymoron to say I retired from fishing. But I still miss it. I miss it and love it. But, my focus right now is raising my daughter. It's one of those things where you're, circle the wagon, raise your kid, and then maybe they'll have a senior tour when she goes off to college if I'm lucky.
Yeah. Byron Paul Velvick is our guest. Byron's got a plethora. It'd take me a half hour to do the whole bio, folks. I mean, I posted his bio on Facebook if you want to go check that out. And just I've known Byron. I don't think I've ever had you on the show before, but I hear about you all the time and follow you. You really are a good outdoor communicator. I've been doing the shows. This is my 26th year on the air, and I enjoy seeing somebody out there that has as much fun and passion for it as I do. So thank you for doing what you do.
Well, thanks for having me on, and congratulations with 26 years, man. That's saying something if you've been knocking this out for 26 years. So you must love it as much as I do. And it's neat to be passionate about the outdoors. I was listening to your lead-in commercial about bow hunting, and not to offend anybody, but what I know about bow hunting, you can put on the end of a pin, as far as my knowledge. So I've never been much of a hunter, but I sure do love the outdoors, and I get a kick out of energizing other people about it and sharing that passion. It's something I get to do there that I could care less about any other television stuff, but when it comes to outdoors, I get really fired up, and I love it, and I can tell you do too.
Oh, I love it. I can't believe we're going to. I can't. Next year we're going to be 60, Byron.
Ouch!
Did you realize that, Byron?
I'm in denial. No, I think this is really becoming tough on me. As I get older, I don't mentally you don't feel 60, but your body is aching. Every morning you wake up, you're like the joints and the muscles in the back definitely scream 60.
Well, I've had the honor over the years of becoming really good friends with Shaw Grigsby and Denny Brower and Gary. Some really good Gary Klein, some really good folks out there. And Shaw's a little bit older than you and I, but he still cranks it out. I mean, he's doing some good things. Denny retired. He's down there in Texas, down in Amistad. He's doing it right down there too. But it's just state of mind. That's what they keep telling me.
It's funny you mentioned that. I was out fishing with Denny Brower in Del Rio, Texas, because I still have my house there last week. It's so bizarre you just brought his name up. So last week, after all the years of knowing each other, and Denny Brower, those guys you just named, Shaw Grigsby, Denny Brower, Rick Klum, these guys were my idols when I was a kid. I mean, in high school, I was pouring through my magazines. All my life, I've never gone fishing with Denny Brower, and we both have a house. You know, we both live in the same. I'm in San Antonio, but I go to Del Rio often. So last week, of all things, we went out fishing for the first time in our lives together. Never shared a boat together in all our careers. Been around each other, fished a lot around each other in certain lakes all around the country. Shared some fish, shared some coves, shared some spots. You know, for better or worse during the tournament, but we've never been in a boat together till last week.
I'll always be grateful to those guys. I met Shaw in St. Louis. That's where I moved up to Des Moines, Iowa 21 years ago. I started my broadcasting career in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm still on the air on Sunday nights down there. But Byron, that just shows you that mediocrity in broadcasting can survive. But I met Shaw at a big fishing event down there, and one of the things that I always appreciated about Shaw, and Denny's from that area, of course, but Shaw would sit there and talk to every single person that came out to listen to his seminars, and he would invest the time, and I admired that about him. And Denny actually came to a couple events from me. That's when he was actually on the Wheaties box. At that time, he came out and he brought some Wheaties boxes and signed them for some of the listeners, and I just never forget stuff like that. Those people are just they're just treasures in the industry.
You know, it's important. Like, to me, the one thing I've heard about negatively, you don't want to be a bad ambassador to the sport. You want to be someone just like Shaw or Denny or any of us that take that time to talk to everybody. I mean, I light up if somebody has any kind of a fishing outdoor background, because then I feel like I have a kindred soul, you know, somebody I can visit with and we can talk to, and they have stories to tell. And, you know, it's to your point, man, Shaw and Denny and so many of those guys are just great ambassadors, taking all the time in the world to talk to everybody, sign whatever people want them to sign, you know, just tell stories. And to this day, even at ICAST this year, I went to ICAST this year, and same thing, Shaw Grigsby is just over there. Everybody comments about how just affable he is, how nice he is, and what a joy it is to talk to him, you know, at the show.
Yeah, no, him and Polly are good people. They really are. I actually had my own TV show for 20 years too. It was called Outdoors Traditions, and when I was trying to get my Grand Slam turkeys with my bow, the Osceola down in Florida, Shaw said, "Come on down. You can stay with me and Polly, and I'll film for you." And I went down there for a few days, and he ran the camera. And I'm just telling you what, I don't think I've ever... We were sitting in the blind, Byron, and we're in the middle of this pea field, and there's a swamp right behind us, right? And Shaw's over there just looking around. I said, "What are you looking around for?" He goes, "Well, they got a 16-foot alligator out of here the other day. I'm just making sure there's nothing else." And every time I'd hear something walking behind us in the ground blind, I'm sitting there sweating bullets because I hate gators, man.
Yeah, that's scary. Now that's when you to go from the hunter to the hunted and down in Florida with the alligators. That's especially 16-footer. That's
well. I might be exaggerating the length there a little bit. I can't. It was a big gator.
Whatever it is.
Yeah. You know, the way I look at it, Byron, everybody should have an alligator briefcase and a pair of boots.
No fan of alligators alive, are you?
No, I just, they taste great. Everybody should have one in the freezer.
Tastes great. Everybody should eat alligator. You're like a Chick-fil-A guy, you know, eat more alligators.
I'm telling you, man, I can't stand them things. I just...
You're on a mission to make sure they're all eaten or turned into boots and briefcases.
Yeah, I can handle bears. I can handle mountain lions. I mean, you know, and a lot of times I'm out there filming for the show myself. I retired my program and moved over to Respect the Game TV on Pursuit and Sportsman's Channel with some buddies of mine, and so I still film like 3 or 4 hunts a year. I don't mind going and doing stuff like that, carrying the gear, bears and cats, but alligators, you can't outrun an alligator.
No.
I just have no use for them, man.
Unless you're out of your element. If they decide to come after you, there's nothing you can do, and you're hearing more and more about them.
Yeah. The only use I have for an alligator is cocktail sauce. That's it. So, I got to ask you, you've been doing this for a long time, like I said. What's what got you started in doing this professionally, and what's some of the things that just really made your your career? I mean, what's
I grew up as a kid here in Southern California. Ironically, I'm here now visiting my mom in the same neighborhood I grew up in. And I grew up down here loving fishing. I was this geek in middle school and high school. I wore fishing jackets with patches all over them because back then we sewed the Mr. Twister patches on them. And I just loved fishing. And I caught wind early through a neighbor of mine. He fished tournaments regionally. And it was the coolest thing in the world because I'm just fishing all the local ponds and ditches and sewers and anywhere there was anything that would bite, I would fish for it. And funny enough, I mean, just to feel a bite, this is a true story, crazy story, but me and my friends would go up on the roof and we would take pieces of bread, tie them to our fishing line with no hook, and then lower them down in the backyard so we could feel the dogs eating the bread off our fishing rods. So we're on the roof with. Because I'm living in suburbia, it's not a lot of water in Huntington Beach, Orange County, California. So a lot of times, you can't get on your bike and go ride somewhere to go fishing. So go up on the roof, put a piece of bread on a fishing line with no hook, of course, and feed the dogs, but at least feel something biting on your pole. I mean, I was kind of addicted to fishing as a little kid. Found out about tournament professional fishing, and I thought, man, if I somehow, some way, can make that my reality. I mean, I won't have worked a day in my life if I can figure out a way. And I'd rather make $1,000 fishing than $10,000 being a lawyer or a businessman or whatever else. And a lot of my friends went off and became very successful entrepreneurs, but they were quite miserable. And I just said, man, I'm not going to make as much money as those entrepreneurial friends of mine, but I'm going to love, calling an office or a lake, calling a river or a lake or whatever my office and seeing the most beautiful parts of this country, and that's what really spurred me into this was just this burning desire when I found out from my neighbor who fished tournaments, like I said, regionally, and I went home and opened up my magazines and he was in my magazines, for California West Coast magazines. I was like, oh my God, this guy's like somebody that's actually in my fishing magazines. You would have thought I lived next to Joe Montana and I loved football. That's what it was like.
Yeah. Yeah, I can relate. Growing up in the Midwest, Virgil Ward was one of my heroes.
Mm-hmm.
You remember Virgil?
I do remember Virgil Ward, yeah.
I couldn't wait for Saturday mornings, Byron, to go learn how. My favorite part of the whole show was when he went back into the studio in his office and had that aquarium, so he'd run the lures in the aquarium to show you the action and stuff. I couldn't wait till at Saturday afternoon I was bugging Mom and Dad. Come on, I got a lure I need to get. Virgil says I need to throw this. So,
exactly. Yeah.
It's totally changed from back then, them good old days, hasn't it?
Oh, it's changed so much now, and these kids are so different now. And we were just out the other day fishing in the ocean, and nobody triangulates anything anymore. GPS, it's the lost art of looking at a topo map, and then trying to figure out where you are in relation to the map, by looking at landmarks and all those other fun things. And we were just having that conversation when I went out fishing yesterday morning or the other morning on the coast with my friend. My mentor, the guy I'm telling you about, he's 82 years old now, same age as my mom. He still goes out every week fishing on the ocean at 82, so I still get to spend time on the water with this guy. But growing up, he was my mentor, and we talked about how much that has changed, to your point, how much it's changed. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. Did you say your mom's 82?
My mom's 82, and so is Steve. Yep, they're both 82.
And you were born in 64, right?
I was.
Wow. Yeah, okay.
So were you, right?
You tell your mom, go, Mom.
She's here, yep. My daughter. I brought my daughter out here, and school starts pretty soon in San Antonio, Texas, so we came out here to enjoy some fishing, and I brought some reels out here to test. I got some we got these prototype reels we're working on, so I'm walking around Southern California trying out these new prototype reels, seeing how that's going to work for Trica.
We'll talk about Trica here in a second. Favorite part of California, I was stationed out there in the service. Favorite part of California was leaving. I miss In-N-Out Burger, and that's it.
Oh, I had In-N-Out Burger last night. And by the way, they have it in Texas, but it tastes better in California.
Does it really?
Last night, oh yeah, it's crazy. They have In-N-Out Burger in Texas, but I don't know why. I have no idea why. Maybe it is psychosomatic. I doubt it, though. But everybody I know says they taste better in Southern California or California. Maybe it's because of where they get their stuff than it does at the Texas locations. And I've even my daughter notices it. So I don't think I'm making it up. But ironically, I had In-N-Out last night.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, Richard's listening to us this morning. He wants to know, can you give some best tactics for catching bass in the heat of the summer?
Man, you know what? That's a great question, Richard. And I got to tell you, when I was doing my fishing shows, had my show on ESPN. They took us down to Disney, heat of the summer, Disney Lakes, untouched, full of fish, on a good day, 40, 50, 60, 70 fish. And it was summertime. They took us down there in July or August, and it was unbelievable how hard it was in Florida at the Disney Lakes, where there was zero pressure. Best lakes in the world to be fishing. To get bit. They're almost always feeding nocturnally, and it's mornings and evenings are so important. Like, you got to fish those early mornings or wait till the late evenings. During the day, if you have to be out during the day, the number one thing I can tell you is try to find the most wind you can. Get into an area where you got as much wind, something or current or boat traffic or anything that's disrupting the water. Because if you're just out on a lake and it's hot and it's flat and it's middle of the summer, it's awful. But if you can get somewhere where you got turbidity, whether that's wind-related, boat traffic-related, summertime, my thing was I'd go to the noisiest marinas, I'd go to the noisiest boat lanes, and I'd fish those noisy marinas, noisy boat lanes. I called it the bikini pattern for obvious reasons. Go to the bikini pattern, not a bad view, but at the same time, those are the fish that will still be active. But if you're in a quiet part of a lake and there's not much wind in the summertime, man, you're basically punching holes in the water. It's a great question, and I think the number one thing you look for is any kind of at least active water to where you can get a reaction bite out of fish that are in some kind of current or disruptive water. Yeah. That's the summertime tactic I recommend.
Disney fishing, huh?
Oh my gosh, it was so great to fish the Disney lakes. But again, the Magic Kingdom, and the most beautiful place in the world as far as a lake, wrapped around Disney World. But the fishing was just awful. And to this point that I'm telling you, the best fishing was to follow those big giant tour boats and they have the tour boats going around because of Disneyland and all these sightseeing boats, and I'd catch them in the prop wash of the big boats, and that was the only bite I could get on at Disney.
Yeah, that's crazy. I actually got to fish there once too, Byron. It's really a small world.
Yeah,
it is. See what I did there?
Oh, you did. That was right.
It's a small world. It's a small. Never mind.
It's a small world.
Yeah. All right.
That's why you've been in this business 26 years, man. You throw that out there. Look at that.
Richard said.
Background is that done. We need that drum thing right there. That dunk.
Oh, he did. Andrew just did it. Richard said, "Thanks a bunch. Helpful with the wind. So important. A lot of species." So he said, "Thank you." Hey, Byron, can you hold through a break for me?
Absolutely.
All right, we'll be right back with Mr. Byron. We're going to talk a little more fishing, and we're going to talk a little trika when we come back right here on the Outdoor Call Radio Network.
If bow hunting or archery is your passion, get to Archery Field and Sports in Altoona and see what's new in your sport. Archery Field and Sports has been helping archers and bow hunters for generations. They have the experience to help you with your purchase and help you reach your goal.
Hey, Byron.
Archery Field and Sports carries
archery
we're off
here. Hey, when your schedule frees up a little bit later in the year or whatever, let me know. I'd like to book you.
Mark and staff are trained on all the latest tuning and setup techniques and are experts at personally
you and Shaw and Denny and people like you, I love this. The listeners love it when
that will help
get
you
on
getting sighted in. Archery Field and Sports has leagues and personal training sessions available for you to train for the upcoming seasons that will help you fill your tags. Archery Field and Sports at East 56th Street
the water temperatures in the 80s here right now. It's crazy. I go up to Minnesota.
For more information, go to archeryfield.com
or
call
I'm more of a walleye guy.
565-6500.
It's just
hey, students,
right
are you into shooting sports?
Hot.
Well, if you are,
hey, listen,
have you ever thought about using your passion to help you through college? Grandview University is a small private college that is looking for students that have a passion for the shooting sports and learning. Grandview University has a shooting sports program that, if you qualify, will give you a guaranteed rate for your whole education while on the shooting team. That means your cost won't go up. You will get to experience a new level of competition and learn in a small class size with the feel of a larger campus with a ton of opportunities. So if you're looking to advance your education and love to shoot, why not shoot for a college program that has produced countless All-Americans and has a winning record of 4 times national champion? Grandview Shooting Sports athletes will have your ammo, uniforms, travel, and education covered in your scholarship. If you like to shoot for the stars and push yourself, Grandview University wants to talk with you. For more information, check them out at gvvikings.com.
Are you into hunting, fishing, camping, or tailgating? If you are, we'd like to introduce you to Arctic Ice. Arctic Ice is a brand new way to keep your game, beverages, and camping supplies cold and fresh wherever your adventure takes you. Arctic Ice Packs are a rugged ice substitute that maintains low temperature longer than a bag of ice and does not have the slushy mess that can contaminate what's in your cooler. If you like to hunt or fish, look at the Alaskan Series or Arctic Ice Packs that will keep your game or fish at 34 degrees for 3 to 4 days. If you're wanting to really freeze things up, try the Tundra Packs that can keep your wild game and fish at dry ice temperatures for the travel back home. For tailgating or camping, try the Chill and Brew Packs. They'll keep your beverages of choice at frosty cold temperatures 4 times longer than what a bag of ice can. If you want your game, fish, or camping goods to stay fresh and cold as possible without the mess of regular ice, go check out Arctic Ice Packs today. You can find models of Arctic Ice Packs at Sportsman's Warehouse or at www.arctic-ice.com.
Hey America, when you barbecue, cookies is the one. Lots of flavor, lots of goodness, thick and rich, lots of fun. Hey America, when you barbecue, try Cookies barbecue sauce for a treat. Cookies barbecue sauce is the barbecue sauce America loves to eat.
You're ready for your next outdoor adventure. Wouldn't it be nice to have high-definition footage as a fun memory of your time in the outdoors? Well, Tacticam has been helping hunters do that very thing. Whether it's one of our 5.0 or the 5.0 wide camera, you're going to capture your hunts like never before. They can help you cover your bow fishing trips with the new Tacticam Fish Cam that's totally waterproof and ready to record some awesome bow fishing action. All the Tacticam cameras feature 4K resolution, Wi-Fi compatible, feature live stream capabilities with over 2.5 hours of record time. That
We'll be coming back in a second. Well, I like him. He's fun. And it's the first time I've had him on the show. We'll get him back on.
Oh, show.
For sure. Get him back on the show for sure.
Don't forget to take your Tacticam camera. You'll be able to relive your trips.
Well, hey, Byron, what's your name?
No, not going to say that, Byron.
This is the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoor Dan on Des Moines Sports.
Thank you, Richard.
1350 ESPN.
All right, welcome back to the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan. My guest is Mr. Byron Paul Velvick, and we're talking a little fishing this morning. So, Byron, I got a call from Tyson and Larry and Mike over at Trica last year, and they said I've known Larry and Mike for years because they used to own a company called Field Logic, and I worked with them on the TV and radio side for a long time. And they said, we got this new thing coming out, and we want you to talk about it on the radio, and it's going to help you fishing. And Byron, my first thing was, I need all the help I can get when it comes to fishing. So I'm just going to tell you right now, Byron. I was talking to Byron during the break. I told him that I want to get him back on, but I like walleye fishing's my favorite since I moved up to Iowa. But man, Byron, those fish are the finickiest biting fish I've ever fished for in my life. I mean, a lot of times you can't feel the bite. You can't, you think you're hitting the bottom and you're actually on the walleye. And I mean, I was using really good rods. I was lightening up. I was going from mono to braid and fluorocarbon tied together with a double uni. I mean, I was doing everything I could to feel those fish. And I told everybody when I went up to Lake Winnebagosh up in northern Minnesota in June, I had my Trica spinning rods with me, and I could not believe the difference. And that's just being as honest as I can compared to my other good rods. I'm not going to say what the other rods were because that's not fair. But I mean, I could honestly feel the bite better with that carbon weave technology that Trica had. It was amazing. I mean, all the way through the rod, Byron, I could feel the bite.
Yep. Yeah, and that's the first time I got bit on that rod. And to your point, professionally fishing, I've been with a lot of rod companies, but they're basically mass production, or they're big production rod companies. They're meant to be big production rod companies. They sponsor, the pros. They got a big marketing budget. They're out for volume, major volume. And I've never, ever, ever fished with high-end rods that my friends would go buy, the very, very expensive $600, $700, $800 Loomises and all these other blanks. And, there was the ultra high-end rod that I just never fished with because that was never part of the tournament thing. You were fishing for your sponsors' rods, and
Right.
they're great rods, and they worked fantastic. But when I got bit with that rod, and I get it now that that's the most expensive rod in the industry to make. Like, it literally is the most expensive rod because they're using the very best components. And it blew me away because the guy that's the one of the owners of Trico that was out here in Texas said, "Hey, let's go fishing. I want you to try out these rods." He goes, "I just want you to give them a try, see what you think. Give me some feedback on them. We're just looking for feedback." And so, man, I'll never forget it because it was fluorocarbon. It was a small little Senko bait, rig wacky style. And it was like, you felt that hit and you're like, oh my God. I mean, that was much more pronounced than I'm used to feeling as a sensation factor. And that shocked me. I was like, I really couldn't believe how well I felt. What I knew was a very subtle, soft plastic bite, because that's when it really shines. I mean, you can be cranking a bait, and you'll feel it popping through stuff, and you'll feel them eat it. But when you're crawling a soft plastic along, and there's just that lightest pickup, that pickup resonates through that rod. And I told him, I said, I'm shocked because that right there, amazing sensitivity. My next question was, well, how durable are they? Are they really going to hold up? Because the problem with those very, very, very high-end rods that are extremely sensitive is, they break a lot, and they're notorious for breaking a lot. But he said, you're going to be shocked at the durability of these rods as well. And it really did shock me. It blew me away.
Well, and listen, they got a lifetime warranty on them, and they got a 1-year money-back guarantee. You can fish for it for 363 days, and if you're not happy with it, you can get your money back.
Yeah, I tell people at the show that. I go, hey, you're not taking a big risk here. This is kind of like, it's like a Costco deal. The best thing about Costco is you go there, you buy something you don't like, you just take it back to Costco, and they'll just take it back, right?
Right.
And this is like a Costco deal. You just buy this rod, you start using it, and you say, 2 months from now, you got buyer's remorse. You don't think it's everything you thought it was going to be. Hey, man, they'll take it back, and that's unheard of in the industry to stand behind a rod to that point where it doesn't have to be broken to take it back, which I doubt you'll break. But you just don't like the rod. You just don't feel like the rod's fit for you, which isn't going to happen.
Yeah.
Because I was the same way as you. When I finally fished with this rod, I didn't realize how much I was missing in premium rod sensitivity, and I just know the difference. Most rods cost $15, $20, $22 probably to manufacture. To the manufacturer, this rod's costing triple that. It's such an expensive rod to make, but it shows in using it because it is every bit of like a $600 or $700 or $800 high-end Loomis or something.
Well, but they're not that expensive. They're $200 to $300 at the most on the high end, and then they just launched a new series. I think they're $199.
And the trick there is they're selling direct.
Yeah,
you're not going to call. Don't go looking at Sportsman's Warehouse or Bass Pro Shop or Cabela's for them.
Yeah,
but that's the reason that you're getting such a high-end rod for such a great price is they've cut out having to give those retailers 50% of their profit.
Yeah. I was actually able to go back down to 6 pound, 7 pound, or 6 pound monofilament when I was walleye fishing in June. I didn't have to go to fluorocarbon or the braid. I just went to mono. And Byron, I mean, I caught I'm a bow hunter by trade, but I've been fishing all my life. But I am no means a professional angler. I'm a ham and egger. But I could feel the jig. I was jig tip with a minnow, and I could feel that minnow on the end of that line, and I could feel when that fish sucked that jig and minnow in. There was nothing there anymore, and I could just lift my rod up and pop the walleye in it. I caught 23 inch and a 26 inch walleye, and I caught a bunch of 14, 17 inch walleye. And like I said, I've missed so many fish. The thing about live scope that I don't like, Byron?
What?
You can actually see the walleye giving you the fin, laughing at you. That's the one thing I don't like about those electronics. But I mean, I honestly didn't lose as many fish using that, and I'm giving all the credit to the rod because I just could feel the rod like I never could before.
Well, here's another thing. This is what now that I've been with this rod company and working on it and trying all these different rod models they have and everything, I'm a swim bait guy. Known as a swim bait guy, was the guy that brought swim baits to tournament fishing 30 years ago, 25 years ago.
Yep.
And the one thing about swim baits that I've noticed with this rod, and this guy, and guys listening will appreciate this, is you can throw a small swim bait now, just a very small 4-inch swim bait on a little jig head. You can feel that body wobble in this rod going through the water that I've thrown a lot of swim baits in my life. I've never been able to feel that tail kick body wobble like I can now. And if it picks up just the smallest piece of grass, I can feel that body wobble and that tail kick go away.
Yeah.
So now I know if I have an effective cast or if I have a bad cast. I throw it way the hell out there. I start cranking it, and all of a sudden I feel that body wobble go away. I go, oh, I picked up some grass. I'm not going to get bit, but now at least I know to either jerk it real hard and recreate that body wobble to kick the grass off, or just reel it in fast, take the grass off myself, and throw it again. Whereas before, I'd throw it all the way out there, and I didn't know I had grass till I got all the way back to the boat. And that's what this rod's allowing me to do, is feel that bait and feel any idiosyncrasy in a change of that bait that might not let me get bit. And especially on small little swim baits, which are so subtle, so much more subtle than a spinnerbait or a crankbait, but just so subtle in the slight body wobble, slight tail kick. And I can feel that change with this rod that I've never in my life felt before.
Yeah. Now, I've never thrown those big swim baits like you guys do in California, those 26-pounders. But I like those. I like a 3 or 4 inch little paddle tail, soft plastic when I'm jig fishing for wallies or for smallmouth. I do love that little action on that paddle tail, and that's actually became one of my favorite baits to throw the last couple of years.
See this rod will change the way you feel it, because you're going to feel stuff with this rod in the action. And again, that's half the battle, because if a fish does bite it, you'll feel it. You'll feel that change. If you pick up a piece of grass, you're gonna feel something different. It could either be a pressure bite, which is amazing on a swim bait when they literally just come up and clamp on it, but they don't give you any kind of a jolt or a hit. And you feel something change. And if you jerk it and it's grass, it's coming off. If you kind of pop it into fish, you got a fish on. I would have never ever caught that fish before.
Yeah.
But now with the sensitivity of this rod, And I can't speak. I'll speak volumes to how important that is to me as a swim bait fisherman, to be able to feel the action of the swim bait throughout the cast, not just at the end of the cast. And before it was just kind of I felt the same thing every cast, which is just reeling it back in with nothing on it, like a dead feeling. Now I feel the action of the bait.
Yeah, it's awesome. Hey, before I let you go, can you tell everybody what's a good knot to make sure they learn or put on their Google searches to keep them on the water longer?
A good what?
A good fishing knot.
I am so basic, and I'll tell you, it has never failed me. I don't tie a lot of different knots. In fact, I'll tell you the one tip that I have for a lot of the guys is I don't tie braid to fluoro. I've seen too many of the knots fail, and even in tournaments, Skeet Reese and I fishing Gunnersville together on those big swim bait fish, he was breaking them off, going fluoro to braid. So I either go full braid, full fluoro. If I have to use a fluoro leader, I know it's primitive, but it's wonderful. I just tie a little swivel, not far up, and I get no line twist. I actually I have 2 knots tied to the small swivel, and I did this just because this is how I used to do it with my daughter, and I realized this is a pretty effective way to do this, and just go fluorocarbon, small swivel to the braid, because I have really struggled, and everybody's given me every knot in the world. Some slip because of the coating on the braid. Sometimes the force of a good strike will snap that thing. The weakest point is that braid to fluoro or any kind of a leader braid knot. And I just don't like them. And I don't like them going through the guides. I don't like that it goes through the guides. I've eliminated all that with a small swivel, maybe 14 inches up above the bait. And when it comes to knots, I just still tie improved clinch and Palomar.
Yeah.
Palomar is on any kind of monofilament. Never ever tie Palomar on fluorocarbon, because it'll cut itself.
Yeah.
So Aaron Martins used to call it a Palisnap. That was his nickname for a Palomar.
Yeah.
If it's on fluorocarbon, it's a Palomar. He calls it a Palisnap, because you literally are doing yourself a disservice by tying that knot on fluorocarbon. So I used improved clinch on my fluorocarbon.
Yeah.
I don't have any problems with knots.
Yeah, I love Palomar knots. That's one of the easiest knots to tie, and my eyes are getting bad, so I can still see that loop through the eye and back around and in. So they're.
I like, exactly. Improved clinch, I can tie it, blind. I don't have to be looking at the bait to tie it. 7, 8 wraps, go through, and I'm done. Yep. And it's not failing me. I don't lose fish in my whole career. I've never experimented with all these, Boy Scout knots. all these guys try all these different Albright knots and California uni knots and, every knot in the world. And I'm like, man, I'm going to keep it simple. And I love my knots and they work great for me. And I trust them. After 35 years of competitive fishing, I'm going to keep it the way it is. The only thing I've incorporated lately is the small swivel.
Yeah, you're on it, buddy. I'm telling you. Byron, if someone wants to find out what you're up to or follow you, what's the best way to do that?
Oh man, I've not been much on social media. I do have a Facebook page, so if anybody wants to reach out to me on Facebook, I do have a Facebook page. I know it looks pretty antiquated, but I am on Facebook, and there's a picture of me from Clear Lake, I believe, on Facebook. It's Byron Velvick, and that's about it. I don't do any of the. I've been kind of reluctant to get into social media after that reality TV thing. I've stayed away from it.
Yeah, wow.
I had my stint in overexposure, so I don't have Instagram or Twitter or any of that stuff.
Yeah, I don't blame you. All right, buddy. Hey, can we get you back on soon?
Love to. I'd love to come back on.
All right, I'll get a hold of you. I'll send you some dates, and if you need anything, let me know. And let me know if you're going to be in the Midwest doing anything fishing-wise.
I will, and I appreciate all your listeners listening to us today, and I appreciate any questions they have in the future. So I look forward to another show, and I love the Q&A stuff because I'll just share whatever I can possibly share.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you soon. Be safe, and tell Mom hi.
Hey, thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you. There he goes, Mr. Byron. We'll be right back on 1350 ESPN.
They're one of America's favorite fish to go after. Whether you call them old peamouth or a slab, folks love to chase after the tasty crappie.
That's a good guess. Good guy.
Are waiting to help you limit out your next fishing trip. Whether you dip, troll, or cast.
August 19th, we got the Iowa Cubs game. 6 o'clock start Saturday. Big outdoor day at the iCubs. Andrew and I will be there. We're going to give away a 75-quart Grizzly cooler, $300 gift card to Sportsman's Warehouse, and a $500 outdoor stand prize pack. Come by the table and register, and we'll show you about the app if you haven't got the app yet, and have a little fun. Well, thanks, Richard. Looking forward to seeing you there, bud. September 16th and 17th, it's the Big Iowa All-Breeds Jeep Show in Cambridge. If you like the 4x4 obstacle courses, teeter-totters, that's a show you're going to want to be. They got camping available 8 to 5, and they'll take care of you. You want more info, go to iowajeepclub.com. And then there's a 15th annual Mentored Youth Waterfowl Hunt. It's going to be Saturday, September 30th, 5:15, 11 a.m. at Choctaw Bottoms Greenbelt up in Maxville. It's for Iowa kids 12 to 15. Must have a hunter safety course done. If you want more info on that youth waterfowl hunt, give them a call at 515-323-5300.
Hey, are you in the market for a new RV this year? Here's a place to help you start looking for that new travel
one more big break.
I know, I'm running behind.
Head on over to the friendly folks at Imperial.
Had to keep him on. He's a big guest.
RV has been serving Iowa camping enthusiasts for 50 years. They carry pull-behind or fifth-wheel RVs from Sprinter, Hideout, Passport, and Alpine. They now carry SMC horse trailers that have built-in living quarters.
So here's what I'm going to do for trivia. If you haven't won in the last 30 days, just call me, and you can come and grab the stuff at the station. 244-1350. 515-244-1350. Call Andrew. I'll just take the first two callers, and you're going to get a Work Sharp sharpener and a brand new Arctic Ice Alaskan brick. Okay? Take the first two callers.
At ImperialRVCenter.com. That's ImperialRVCenter.com. Imperial RV
Because
Center.
we're gonna run out of time pretty quick.
If you're into cooking wild
Show one quick today.
How's it going? Love to transform your wild game into
You know what?
delicious meals
Hanging
or
in there.
great tasting
Had a little
snacks.
bug last
High
week,
Mountain
so
Seasonings has
glad to be
everything
healthy
you need
again.
to help you make some of the best tasting sausage, snack sticks, or jerky around. High Mountain Seasonings offers simple, easy-to-use kits that are used at home.
Thought it might get a
including
little
3 new
reprieve,
low-sodium
but
blends that will produce wild game snacks your family
not
will
at all.
love. High Mountain Seasonings makes grilling
Yes,
steaks or
one
smoking
thing you
your
can definitely
favorite
say
meats
is he is
taste even better with their specialty spices, marinades, and
If
rubs
anything
for
else.
deer, elk, or your favorite steaks. High Mountain has also custom
it's about time.
It's almost tree time.
spicing up kitchens and grills
Looking
all
to
across the country. Look for High
hopefully
Mountain
get
Seasonings at
out and
Sportsman's
Can't
about.
wait to get in the tree stands.
Grilling retailer. Or go to HIMTNJerky.com for recipes and to find the closest store near you.
I'm gonna go there.
High Mountain Seasonings has everything
for 2 days, and then I realized, gosh, that's a lot of money.
Grilling meats taste great.
Taping your own hunts is an exciting way
all
to
the
capture
food
the
and
moment.
stuff,
Fourth
and
Arrow
then
camera
my
arms
kids-
can help
my-
you
my
video
oldest
easier
son
in the
wants to
field.
do a
They're
slide.
extremely lightweight,
So
durable,
that
and
big
easy
giant
to
Hello,
use.
it's the Andrew Let's Get Acquainted hour.
It's also very adaptable to any
He,
tree or
he
ground
just has to have a little talk.
The bases are affordable.
It is part of
set
the
up
fair.
for various wind
I
directions.
look at it and go, hey, how about frequent flyer?
Are available,
Is that
including
hemp
the Stiff
here?
Arm, Stiff Arm Pro, and Stiff Arm Elite. They're
Ah,
made of high
but no,
quality
they have
aluminum
yet
or
to
carbon,
grant
depending on
that
what you
request.
choose. For ground blind hunters, there's the
Ah.
tripod and monopod options.
I will get here in just about a couple minutes. I gotta
All models
grab
can
something
handle
real
Consumer
quick,
Pro
but yeah,
video
we'll be
and perform quietly in the field. You can even custom pick your setups with Fourth Arrow camera
You got wrap.
modes. If
What are you
you're
wrapping?
looking to tape your
Huh?
hunts
What are you
this
wrapping?
season, check
What are you
out
wrapping?
Are we back?
FourthArrowCameraArms.com. Outdoors Dan approved for
Just
the
gotta
field
find
for
the-
great video action.
Fine one.
You're hunting, and a deer tick just crawled onto your leg and is burying its head into your flesh. You can't feel the bite, and you may or may not find the tick.
If we can
In the coming
this
weeks,
like
you may
2
or
or 3
may not
minutes.
notice a
keep it
red
short right
ring
now.
around the bite. Shortly thereafter, you may or may not get really sick. Your doctor may or may not test you for Lyme disease. The test may or may not detect it, meaning you may or may not get the medication needed. If untreated or not treated on time, you could have a lifetime.
What's up, Pete?
Don't take that chance. Get
Hi, Bill.
clothing from Game High. Limited features Insect Shield, a repellent that is fused to the fabric fibers. Ticks hate it. A Limited clothing will retain its effectiveness for the life of the garment and needs no special care. The treatment is odorless and invisible. Wearing a Limited can help protect you from ticks, chiggers, and other biting insects, and is featured in a complete line of quality.
Morning, Bill and Carrie.
To learn more, visit GameHigh.com.
That big buck has eluded you for seasons. You see his scrape line, but just can't figure him out. Have you heard of pure whitetail?
I have heard of pure whitetail. I'm using pure whitetail on my scrapes right now. And I'm getting deer pictures.
Scrape lines or build mock scrapes that will help you see more deer. Pure Whitetail's natural and synthetic products are developed straight off their farm. Scents like Bedded Up, Fixation, and Power Shot, to name a few. Scents are available in powder and liquid form to last longer on hanging branches or scrapes. Try the White Lightning Estrus Scent. It's a proven scent that bugs can't resist. Pure Whitetail is more than scents. It's a community of hunters that are family. Just go to purewhitetail.com and check out all they have to offer. Scents, hunting gear, seed, grilling sauces, coffee, apparel, field staff opportunities, and family. Want to be more successful in the field? Go to purewhitetail.com or look them up on Facebook. If you love to hunt, join the Pure Whitetail family today.
You're listening to the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan on 1350 ESPN.
All right, welcome back to the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan. Let's head over to the phones and see what's going on at the Rock. Carl Chevrolet, Smoking Joe Smelter. What's up, Joey?
How are you today?
I'm good. Did you know the iCubs Outdoors Day is August 19th?
No?
Yep, August 19th, Saturday, 6 o'clock game. We're giving away a Grizzly Cooler, $300 gift card to Sportsman's Warehouse, $500 Outdoors Dan Pack, and a Smoking Joe Smelter, Colorado, courtesy of Smoking Joe Smelter.
What?
Hello?
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 You lost me at that last part.
What's going on at the Rock?
Keeping busy today.
Are ya? Any good? Any
Nice
special?
out, weather's good.
Any specials?
We always have specials just not for you.
Yeah, I don't feel special. That's for sure. So September 16th and 17th, you can take your new Carl Chevrolet Colorado Classic or ZR2 out to the All Breeds Jeep Show in Cambridge, Iowa. Joe will hook you up with a really good 4x4 that you can take on the obstacle course and even get you an extended warranty. Right, Joe?
I just hope I have a VR2 by that point. I have still yet to see one in person.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
You've seen a ZR2. I bought one from you.
Colorado, not a Silverado.
Oh, I got you.
Come on, Dan.
Come on now.
Yeah, you know, that's crazy, man. They're all over the TV. Yeah, they're all over TV. Come on, man.
love the
Yep, I'm still waiting for that thing to show up, but someday it'll get here. So.
Hey, did you know Saturday, September 30th, that Rainey Munson's having their annual mentored youth waterfall hunt? That
You were just blasting off some dates that I don't even know about.
Yeah, I'm trying to help you, Joe. Saturday, September 30th, 5:15, 11 a.m. in Chocolate Bottoms at the Greenbelt Maxwell. You can go over to Carl Chevrolet and get a brand new Colorado from Joe or a Silverado. He'll give you special deals. And then you can take the kids that are 12 to 15 out there waterfowl hunting, courtesy of Joe Smeltzer.
I signed up for a lot of stuff, didn't I?
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm telling you, Joe, you're amazing.
You like how he's signing you up for all this now?
You know, I do enjoy it, yes. Yeah, and it does not surprise me that he's telling me this after the fact that he signed me up for it. Not one bit. I mean,
all right.
There's more down the pipe that I don't even know about that just will come with time.
Well, that's all right. So if someone's looking for a new vehicle, or what are you going to do for them today?
We do have certain rebates, and we do have some inventory. We got probably like 30 Traverses this week. So the Traverses have some good rebates. Have $1,250 in rebates right now. Plus, there's military discounts out there, educator discounts out there.
Oh, they brought the military discount back, huh?
They've had it forever, I think, or at least over the last year. I don't think they've gotten rid of it any time over the last year that I can recall.
Did I get a military discount last year?
Probably not.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought I wasn't. I think I got hoodwinked again. Yeah.
You always think you do.
All right, well, that's
just because you said that word, I think.
Hoodwinked?
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
He just always thinks that like he just gets the worst case scenario, when in reality it's always the best.
Yeah, well, that's all right. Yeah. All right, so they got brand new, and you got good truck selection because I drove by the dealership the other day, and the trucks you look like you loaded up on trucks. So hunting season's almost here. Go get you a truck.
I'm excited.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
We're like, what do we got? 30. We got 25 plus 31, so that's 66 days.
Yeah. Perfect time to go in there.
56 days.
Yeah, perfect time to go in there to get you a new Silverado or Colorado, and Joe will get you a new bow with every purchase.
He's on it, folks.
Yeah. Where can they find you?
I'll be here all day today, 1101 Southeast or later at the Rock.
I promise you, he'll get you a free cup of coffee at the worst.
There we go.
Yeah. You enjoy counting all that money, Rockefeller.
All right. Well, you guys have a great day.
Thank you, Joe. We appreciate you.
See you later.
Hey, did you know the Iowa Bow Hunters Fall Festival is going on this weekend?
What's going on next weekend?
I just told you what was going on next weekend. The iCubs event.
Well, that's this weekend, and I'm just want to make sure you're up to date on your dates.
Oh, I'm good. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Joe.
See you, buddy.
There he goes, Smoking Joe Smeltzer, selling trucks like crazy. We'll be right back.
Vanes are very important to your arrow flight and for consistent grouping. Flex Fletch and its fine lineup of products has been helping archers steer their arrows for over 50 years. Silent Night
I'll be
Vanes
giving away
are
a free
30%
bow with every
thinner
truck
with a
purchase.
much greater taper
build
than
it
Vanes
into the
out there.
price of
This
the truck.
contributes to
You
a
would not be
dramatic
working there for
reduction of
long.
No, you just build it into the price of the truck. You get a discount on the bow. You make the customer happy.
After
Hey,
pass-through shots on
I would
targets
buy a
or
truck if I got a
this
brand new
ensures
bow.
consistent arrow flight
would.
every time. Flex Fletch offers a variety of colors, sizes, and styles for any archer to use in their setup. Whether it's for 3D indoor or hunting, Flex Fletch has the vane
I can't
for
believe we
you.
got
To
everything
see
in.
these great vanes and
I had a lot to
adhesives
do
like
today.
Zing or Flex Bond to get a great
got it
seal
in.
on your arrow when you fletch, go to your local dealer or flexfletch.com. Flex Fletch, proudly made in the USA, based out of Minnesota.
Hey guys, Jackie Bushman here with Buckmasters. When it comes to food plot seed and deer feed, the Mississippi-based Backwoods Attractions product line has you covered. From their food plot blends like Trophy Acre, Lazy Acre, Clover Deluxe, and the popular Dixie 6, to their attractants like Game Changer, Sweet Stuff, and Buck Robber. The best way to put it is, if you're not using Backwoods Attraction products, you better hope your neighbor isn't either. From small to large acreage, Backwoods Attraction has the feed and seed perfect for your hunting property. So do yourself a favor and swing by and support your local co-op or farm supply store and ask for Backwoods Attraction to set yourself up for a successful fall.
Are you getting ready for hunting season? Well, you've done your homework, and now the time is getting close. One thing after you've harvested that deer or wild game, where are you going to take it? Well, I have an answer. The Milo Locker in Milo, Iowa. The Milo Locker has been processing wild game and general locker animals for over 15 years. Daryl and Angie are the owners, and they take great pride in the fact that they do everyone's order the way the customer wants it. You can have your deer, moose, elk, or even bear processed and hand-wrapped, cut to your specifications. If you like tasty snacks, Daryl does a great job making snack sticks, summer sausage, and jerky with all sorts of cheese and spice combinations. They do a ton of deer each year at the Milo Locker, and they do each order like it was their own. So if you get lucky this year and need a good locker, try the Milo Locker. Check them out today or just give them a call at 641-942-6231. And you're on your way to some great eating.
Going fishing is something we look forward to all week. We all want to be better at it and use the best gear available. Gear that will help us feel the bite better and give superb casting performance. Well, when it comes to sensitivity and longer casts, Trika has people talking. Trika rods are scientifically proven to be more sensitive with their unique weave design, as much as 2 times as sensitive as other costly rod brands. Trika casting performance will give you up to 26% longer cast to keep your bait in the strike zone longer. Trika knows you work hard for your money, and they want to give you a rod that will cast longer and let you feel the bite better without putting the bite on your wallet. Trika rods are significantly less than other high-end rods available. They offer a 1-year, no questions asked guarantee. Trika rods can be returned for any reason up to 1 year after purchasing. They also come with a limited lifetime warranty. If you want to see what has anglers talking, go check out Trika rods at Trika.com. That's Trika.com.
Too many projects stacking up at home, and do you need some help? Don't worry, just call Project Partners Design in Ankeny. Rob and Megan Fair have been helping folks catch up on home projects since 2017. Project Partners Design specialize on refinishing cabinets, mantles, bathroom vanities, or even power washing and staining the deck out back. Nothing but the best materials on all jobs. For example, on deck projects, they use Rymar Extreme Weather Deck Stain that'll last a long time in our Iowa weather. Rob and
Thank you,
Megan
Richard.
also help you design your projects with a mood design board, so your vision will
Morning,
always be in
David.
focus as your projects get completed. It's a great feature for those folks that like to do one project at a time. So don't feel overwhelmed getting your home looking the way you want it. Just pick up the phone and call 507-382-7050. That's 507-382-7050, or email projectpartnersdesign@gmail.com. Military discounts are available every day to those that serve. If it's time to remodel, or if the dog just got done chewing on the kitchen cabinets, pick up the phone and call Project Design Partners in Ankeny, or look them up on Facebook, and help will be on the way.
This is the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan on Des Moines Sports Leader, 1350 ESPN.
All right, welcome back to the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan. Just heard that spot for Project Partners Design. Megan and Rob, they do a great job. If you're in the Ankeny area or Des Moines area and you need help with kitchen remodels. Good morning, Rick Seeker. Rick's down on the Ozarks having fun. If you need help with kitchen repair or doing deck work or any kind of staining, they came over and helped me with my deck, and they did an amazing job. Rob and Megan Fair, look them up at Project Partners Design on Facebook, and they'll just really take a good care of you. They're good, nice, really nice couple, and they do a good job. So there you go. All right, 244-1350, 244-1350. Give me 2 callers. You're going to get a brand new Arctic Ice Block. This is the Alaskan. This will be great for your hunting fall trips, or if you got anything you want to keep cold in your cooler for a day or two. If you got a good Grizzly or Yeti or something like that, this thing will last for a couple days, keeping your stuff cold. And I love them. I also use this on my boat in my live well. When your live well starts to get hot with the warmer temperatures, I throw one of these frozen ones in my live well, and it helps keep my fish more viable, and so does my bait. So this Arctic Ice stuff is really, really nice. It lasts a lifetime. You'll love them. So I got that, and you get a Work Sharp sharpener. Just take the first 2 callers. Just make sure you haven't won anything in the last 30 days. Just that way we can spread the wealth around. All right, so I told you about all the events going on with Joe. We got the Iowa Cubs Outdoor Day next Saturday, the 19th. Not next Saturday, 2 weeks. August 19th. We got September 16th and 17th, the Iowa All-Breeds Jeep Show in Cambridge. And then September 30th is the 15th Annual Mentor Youth Waterfowl Hunt at Chochaqua. If you want more info on that, call them 515-323-5300. The Iowa Bow Hunters has got their big fall festival going on this weekend up at Pine Lake. And I just need to tell you that Dr. Obi-Wan Kenobi Yegi at Advanced Family Dentistry is a proud supporter of this show. Yes, if you need a new dentist or you're just new to the area, that's where I go. And he's a Jedi dentist because I don't have any pain. They really take good care of me there. Dr. Stewart, Dr. Brandt, Dr. Williams, all the staff at Advanced Family Dentistry do an amazing job. They're located over there at 907 North Ankeny Boulevard in Ankeny, Iowa. You can call them at 964-1490. 964-1490, or go check them out online anytime at AnkenySmiles.com. And hey, if you're looking to make a special occasion, you know, Christmas isn't that far away. If you need a really nice anniversary gift or something special, go see Donnie and Frank over at Herman's Fine Jewelers, 2900 University in West Des Moines. I just saw them the other day. They got a ton of stuff in there, and they got great deals going on. They got custom jewelry repair. You can get custom stuff made. They really have some of the best prices in town. That's where I always go, is Herman's Fine Jewelers. If you need to give them a call, 222-2600. They'll take great care of you. They've been supporting this show for almost 20 years, and they're just super nice people. They've been helping people in Iowa for 45 years. Herman's Fine Jewelers. All right, we made it through the show. I want to thank Andrew for coming back to the show. We missed him last week. And I want to thank you, and thank you for, I got to tell you, thank you real quick. The Outdoor Call Radio app is doing really, really good, and it's because of you out there listening during the week. If you haven't got the app, download it on your device's app store. The Outdoor Call Radio is all you got to type in. It's free, and we got 16, 17 great shows for you to listen to that's all either hunting or fishing related, and it'll keep you in the outdoors all week, and it's free, and you might win something. All right, I'm out of here. We'll see you next time. Keep it here on 1350 ESPN. Until next Saturday, bye! All right, gang. We'll see you guys next week, guys and gals. Thank you so much for tuning in on Facebook. Couldn't do this out without you. Thanks to Imperial RV. Zach and Denise help me do this stream every week. And I'm telling you, great partners. That's what keeps the world going. I'm telling you, good folks like that. If you need something, let me know. Otherwise, I will talk with you all on Wednesday at 5 o'clock and then at 7, okay? If you need anything, let me know. Otherwise, have a great weekend. Be safe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye! Also offers special oils like